Hi everyone, this is Shiny from Team GreyB. Today I have something very interesting to share with you guys. We'll be talking about something very different which actually intrigued me a lot. So today I have Sahej with me here who is going to tell you about something different that he has done in a project very recently, and I am very much interested to know more about it. So over to you, Sahej.
Hi, Shiny. Hi, everyone. When I just take a look back for my journey, like as a research analyst, what GreyB taught me about that, like every project, every patent is different. We cannot take everything as similar. So whenever we are going to work on a patent, our approach should be different. And for every patent, we should require a different approach to find a best result for our clients. Now, to simplify this particular aspect, I developed a simple three-liner rule to which helps me out to understand particular text and to define the scope, like where we are going to start with the search out. So like basically the rule starts with the answers of three questions: why, how, and where. Like when I'm basically understanding a particular patent or a clause, the curiosity comes into my mind, like why an inventor has used these words, like how
Mhm.
it is basically changing the scope of or basically defining the boundaries of the search area. When I know the answers of these two questions, I'm able to think, or I'm able to visualize these are the areas, these are the scope searches like I can start with. Like it can be a product based search in like in the first go itself, or it can be directly moving towards the patent. Like I can explain this with an example. Let me take a clause as to identify a specific instance of an audio video content. Now, when
Okay.
I was reading this clause out and applying these three-liner rules, the first instance, like the first interpretation I was getting, like, okay, we are going to find something which is going to relate or identify or basically select a specific portion of an audio video content. But when we go with the meaning of instance word, that gives another interpretation. Like this can be we are going to select audio video content or basically your audio video file from bunch of files. So if I am getting this two interpretation on the very first day of search, now I am able to basically like narrow down the scope areas like where I am going to look for the results. Like for example, in this case, a multimedia player can be a good bet for this. Like over there, we have the option to select multiple like audio video files, as well as we can select a specific portion into a particular audio file as well. So both the interpretations are going well in that.
Yes, I think that's quite interesting. Like, I know we might have talked about multiple interpretations, etc., in every of our project, and we know how this is very much important in targeting the exact portion or the exact domain which we require. But recently, I heard that you might have faced a hard time regarding a patent, and I think you have applied this rule as well, but it did not work, right? So how did you tackle that situation? How did you come out of it?
Yeah, like there are some scenarios like I must say like you might also have been like gone through that cases as well when you have some words, some keywords which are misleading. Like when we are working in domains which are interrelatable. For example, when we work in telecom domain and with the video coding aspects, then there are some chances like when the results are misleading and the keywords are misleading.
But what I felt is that audio coding domain and telecommunication domain, the keywords and the everything of that are very interrelated to each other. They are overlapping on each other. So if you search in audio coding domain, you get results of telecom domain, and if you search in telecom, you get results of audio coding. So I totally get the point where you are leading towards that, how one keyword can give you a bunch of patents which are basically of no use to you for that particular project. So, from that, like, how did you come up that situation? Like, did you not follow the ways of like shortlisting some very close keywords, some very targeted classes, and all of that? So, didn't you try that way?
Yes, like I used to do these like as an initial step just to basically take an advantage, like take in basic knowledge, like what kind of art, like literature we have in this domain. But just relying on these classes, keywords, or databases is not going to work very well in all the cases, as this one was an evident example for that case. Like neither the classes nor the keyword and like in together, not the database itself, was helping me out to find a very good art for that particular patent.
Okay. So you mean all of the strategies that we follow in a project, like normally we go from one domain to another, from patent to non-patent, from keywords to classes, and from this database to that database, and all of that did not work for you. So yeah, I can understand, because I know this is a common problem for whoever is watching as well. They might be thinking that, yes, I think I have also faced this situation in this particular project. I did not find anything there. So I can totally relate to it. So how did you come out of that situation? Basically, what was the solution that you thought
Okay, so like what happened is that like I just as an usual practice, I just collected the possible keywords which was I was having, and the patent was basically talking about the calculation of a parity in the video coding. Now, as practice, I collected the keywords and then I started making some initial strings to just to see like what kind of results I am going to have.
of?
Now,
Okay.
with it, like my second or third string, I was able to like feel this thing out. Like this is not going to work. I'm getting some patents with the video coding domain, some patents with the telecommunication domain. Since the
Right.
parity keyword was being available in both the cases, so I thought
Yeah.
I need to change the like my scope out.
Yeah. Okay, so basically you changed your approach towards the search, right?
Yes.
You moved towards a different like thinking. You had some different thing in your mind and you just diverted from it. You were first thinking about that how I can go as a normal procedure, and then you could not find anything in it, and you just moved your way, right? You moved into a different way. So what exactly did you do at that point of time? What was the exact solution? I'm very much interested to know about it right now. So I'm pushing every time, and I'm very intrigued to know what actually happened.
So actually, like with an instance of my mind, like I was thinking like, okay, I have analyzed around 50, 60 patents, so nothing is going in the right direction. Nothing, no lead I am getting from this out. So what can else I can do? Just with an instance, I was like reviewing the patent itself, and I just see, okay, this like a method claim was written as a word, and this give me an idea. Okay, how a computer like this is basically working, like this codes of the video processors are being like similar to a computer or a processor itself. So how this thing is going to be applied in a computer, like how this calculation of parity is being done, and within like minutes I can say like I just get an idea. Okay, have we searched for the codes of the program, since these are the common thing a computer or a processor do, and
Exactly.
this was the turning point for this case itself.
Okay, so you mean you looked into the codes basically, right? Which is
Exactly.
basically the backbone of any development that we talk about. But as far as I know, there are hundreds of codes running in the background, right? There can be multiple codes for developing one particular feature. So how did you get to that sweet spot?
Okay. So like again, like I was basically taking this as an advantage itself, and like there are multiple codes. So let me just I just thought, okay, let's give it this a try. So I just type the string like how basically we are going to calculate a parity using codes. Within like two to three results, I landed on a page which basically like telling me about how we can use modulus operator to basically get the parity value out. And I was like, okay, this is a single liner code. So have we checked like, and this is the video patent domain. So can we check this similar code into the standards itself? Since there are multiple standards related to video coding,
Exactly. Exactly.
and I moved to the standard itself now. Since the standard is also was around 400 to 600 pages, the subject patent helped me out to reduce the scope itself. Like, okay, let me just directly go over towards the coding section, and over there, since the patent was related to residual data elements, so directly jump to that. So
Okay.
with this information, I was able to reduce my work to only 20 pages. And when I was in the last page of that code, I found a similar concept of calculation of parity in just two-liner code, like the same concept which was being given to the patent itself. And that was a similar, like that was what I was looking for. And the total scope, total like direction for the patent or the search has changed from that point itself.
Okay, so you mean you used your mind there. You were the one who is not going to do the hard work, but who is going to do the smart work here, right? So you just check that how you can land into that spot easily and not look at all of the codes that was present in the standard. So you just quickly skim through them. You just made a small subset of it and you just skimmed through the codes and you just got your hands on what you required. So Sej, right now we are talking about the case that you had it, and I think it was really interesting to talk so much about it. I mean, uh, coming from a researcher background, I understand that when you are into different projects, it's very difficult to think different. It's very difficult to think different in every case. But here, what we have done is we started with the case, we looked for keywords, and we then did our normal search, and then we move towards the code, right? So that was really interesting to know. So before we conclude this particular podcast, do you have anything else that you would like to tell the audience here?
Yeah, sure. Like as like I get this learning itself, so like I am going to apply in the very first day of my searches from that project onwards. Like whenever like we are having some kind of a like computer related patent or a computer related project itself, it can be related to server, it can be related to processor, it can be related to like a video coding domain itself. Just like in most of them we are going to have a method claim itself. Just try to
Right.
think or visualize the process in the form of codes, like as this was the evident example, like we have the help from the code itself to crack this case out. Similarly, we can also take a learning from this case as we do not need to rely on databases, classes, or keywords. They just help us to reduce the material out. The main thing is we have to focus on the concept itself. Like in this case as well, I focus on the concept, like how the calculation is going to work out, and I was able to find out the way to find that particular sweet spot.
Exactly. I mean, that focusing on the concepting, I can totally relate to, because if we keep on focusing only on what's written there and what are the keywords and what are the sentences that are formed, what are the features, then we might not land into the required result. But if we look at the concept as a whole, that actually helps a lot of times. So thank you so much, Sahej, for your time today. And I really feel very great talking to you. I hope that you had the same experience talking to me. Is that so?
Yeah, sure. Like this was like a great example, like how we can have different like scopes or different search ideas with a simple patent itself. So it's like it was great experience to share this experience, like this learning with everyone, and hope this will be going to help them as well.
Yeah, I also hope that this podcast is helpful to a lot of people. And guys, before we end this topic here, I would like to say that we have more podcasts coming your way. And I think you might be waiting for the next podcast. So let's see when we can come up with that one. But if you have any such strategies or any such thing different that you have done in your projects, do drop your comments.